Cardinals, man?
Yeah.
That was you need to force them to work. You got enough room to force them over.
Sure, man. I mean, it's Jay Show's got to get in the picture, too.
You got on the other side, you good? You go.
Good.
I got you.
Thanks, man.
I got to send that to you.
Anytime you want to hop on or even just call in if you see something that Earl's saying is stupid, just call in.
I
love it.
What are y'all talking about?
Oh, we just Cardinal stuff. What else?
Sometimes we'll cry about the D-backs or
And the Suns and
Oh, my
all
God.
the other crap that goes on in
Please
Arizona.
don't get us started.
You know?
The crazy part about it is that, like, I remember when Denny Green called me,
Oh,
and when I got released by Philly. So he asked me, he was like, "You like Phoenix?" "You like Phoenix?" I was like, "Well, I love their team. I love the basketball team. Well, yeah, you get to watch them play. Send you a plane ticket. You fly in the morning."
Oh, man.
All right, great. And I've been literally actually growing up. We used to be right there on the floor. I remember when I first came back in 09 when we was playing LA in the West Coast Finals.
All right, Jay. Thanks for
Take it
that.
easy, guys.
Hey, good to meet you, man.
Hey, good job.
All right.
I'll be seeing you.
All right, man.
All right.
Take care.
What's up, Facebook?
People be meeting this business.
Right? JB's got some great points, though.
And it's that time again, Bird Gang. Another 60 minutes in the casual house.
Another L for the Cardinals.
Welcome to the Kazual Sportz Show, the show that is always speaking and supporting all things Bird Gang in the community. I am Earl Burnett. He is the one and only speed demon of the Tempe streets,
Oh, man.
Sean McConnell.
Can't get me in trouble.
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm just ready to get this therapy session out today.
You know how we got to do it. This is the only show, Bird Gang, that's going to get you all of your events out to the valley. Your tailgates, your road trips, your event that's going on in your club. Hit us up on social media. We'll get it out to the valley. Our social media outlets are Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Of course, with the same tab, Kazual Sportz, Kazualz at the end of sports. Or hit us up on our website, www.kazualsports.com. On tap, of course, tonight, the Sherlocking in LA to the Rams. We're going to get to do the casual highlights of, I don't know if we even have any for the Cardinals, but we're going to go also do the casualty report. I tried to get a guest in. He still probably he might make it in here. I'm not sure if Cameron Cox from 12 News is going to get in, but if he doesn't, then we'll go ahead and do the Cardinals breakdown of the game. And then, of course, our last segment would be Can't Get Right. And we know there's a lot going on with that already. Heard a piece of it in Jay's show there. Got to kick it with Jeremy Bridges for a minute. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the weekend like, man? Don't even say anything about the game yet, because we already know how that put a damper on it.
Hey, it was a great weekend, all right? So the D-backs, they swept the Astros, ASU beat San Diego State, and the Cardinals shut out the Rams. It was a great weekend.
Man, you crazy. You crazy. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, we're going to do what we normally do about this time. We're going to go ahead and get that Bird Gang news out. And, of course, the Bird Gang Huddle is brought to you by Trust Realty, the multi-purpose realty company that does all of the grunt work for property owners, including repairs and inspections. And also brought to you by our new sponsor, U.S. Realty University. Getting your real estate license just got easier with their 90-hour course. You can do it in your own pace. Let's go ahead and huddle up, Bird Gang. All right, Bird Gang, you know how we represent the AZ Bird Gang fam. My man Valentine Flores wants to thank all of the club for coming out in droves. About 175 showed up for the David Johnson autograph signing. It was an awesome event. Some fans got some great memorabilia signed, and you can get pictures of them on the website at www.azbirdgangfam.club. My man Valentine Flores has those pictures up there for you. Also, don't forget, the club also has its games every week for the games get-together, meeting at the Marley's in Chandler. Come on out, Bird Gang. You can't miss the big tent of the AZ Bird Gang fam sitting outside the restaurant. It's awesome. Kazual Sportz will be out there soon to do a show live from the AZ with the AZ Bird Gang fam from Marley's in Chandler. Another place we'll be at, my people's at the 12 News Tailgate Alliance. Chris Styles Lechuga has a club tailgate that goes down for the road games every week, Bird Gang, at the Freezers Ice House in Tempe, 83 East Broadway Road to be exact. Also, in a few weeks, the Kazual Sportz Show will be present at the Freezers Ice House as well. A live show out there. So, Bird Gang, you got to be out there and come support your boy at Kazual Sportz. But that's one heck of a bar out there as well. I have not ever seen a place like this before. They got like 40 or so TVs I'm hearing. But the drinks and the food are great. Bird Gang, you got to come on out to Freezers. We will get out there soon. Then, Cardinals in the community, Bird Gang. Next week, the Cardinals in Big Red will be at elementary school. Justine Spatoni, the Cartwright School District. The Spatoni Tigers is what they call themselves. Thank you to Principal Janet Heck and teacher Alicia Alvarez for reaching out to us. They will have the Cardinals and Big Red out there reading to the kids, and it's so cool to see the Cardinals go out and support the schools in the Valley. My man, Red Sea Rising Club, Dino Pena, announces his club will have a whole lot of contests going on throughout the season. So come on, Bird Gang, get involved with the Red Sea Rising. He has some interesting takes during the game as well. You want to follow his tread during the game, go ahead and hit him up on Facebook, Red Sea Rising, my man, Dino Pena. Then, Bird Gang independent sister, Troy Lynn Wan, rolled out her new Wrap Cardinals vehicle, Bird Gang. If you haven't seen it, it is awesome. She had help getting it wrapped from a fellow Bird Gang independent, Lynn Jackson. She'll be rolling it out on the home game this week, coming up against the Bears. And if you haven't caught a glimpse of it, go on Facebook to Troy Lynn Wan. That's TroyLynnWaln on Facebook. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Speaking of wrapped vehicles, our man BG Zorro got in an accident and smashed up the Cardinal BG Zorro mobile, the one that had the Cardinal and all the Bird Gang pictures on the inside. Smashed up the left front door, man. And he was okay through the accident, but the car got pretty beat up there. But if I know BG, he'll get that thing back on the road soon. So glad you're okay, bro. Keep us updated on what's going on with that. And also shout out to Lily Garcia and her man Enrique Navarez. Went on the road trip to LA to represent for the Bird Gang. They were in the midst of Ram fans all over the place with their red Cardinal jerseys, with their white Cardinal jerseys on. Way to represent. Next time, give us a heads up. Let us know what's going on. We can get some more people to head out there with you next time. Great job. No matter the outcome, the Bird Gang is out there to represent. Those are the clubs, independents that are represent in the Kazual House this week. This huddle is brought to you again by the good folks at Entrust Realty and U.S. Realty University. Let's go ahead and break this huddle, Bird Gang. Woo! That was a lot.
Usually.
A lot's going on in the Bird Gang. We want to get into, we got an ASU report, but before I do that, I got to give a shout out to the elementary school Cartwright Cougars. Man, they had a soccer game today. The soccer team of the Cartwright Cougars went out there today and battled, and the last 8 minutes of the game were down 1-0 in the soccer game. And props to Coach Burnett that rallied the troops down there got 3 unanswered goals to win that game behind Captain Santos and player John and Kevin and my son Ezekiel, and the MVP of the game, my hustle man Salinas, balled out. I mean, Coach Burnett got them heads that were down lifted up, and my loud mouth started shouting a little bit too. So got them going, man. They went out there and rallied and got that win, man, 3-1. I thought that was awesome, man.
It's hard to do.
So shout out to you guys. Good job out there. Cartwright Cougars undefeated. Okay, we're going to move on to the ASU report, bro. And now we're going to start the sadness in Arizona sports. Maybe those Cartwright Cougars can teach the Cardinals a little lesson about not giving up.
This ain't no point.
Wow, ASU game. Tale of 2 halves, bro.
No joke.
Tale of 2 halves.
What'd you think? You think they got robbed of that catch at the end?
No, I think the refs got it right. I mean, but I think when you talk about being robbed, the rule just robbed them.
Right, because how can you benefit as a defense from targeting?
From targeting, yeah. You benefit.
It feels
from
wrong.
It's like, yeah.
It doesn't benefit the player's health at all.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's how they have to go look at that, because that's wrong. They did everything right to get that catch down there. And had he not targeted him, they'd be right there on the 1-yard line with a chance to tie that game.
If I'm a college defensive coordinator, that's what I'm teaching now for the rest of the season. You want to stop.
You want to
stop
and
catch.
Something.
Take the guy's head off.
Take him out. If it's man.
It's worth the penalty.
That's a good point, man. That might just start happening too, unfortunately.
Because you get the penalty on a long ball, but they don't get that completion on the 2.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a game-saving play.
It is. It just really just killed the whole thing. But they should have never been in that position.
Of course not. Of course not. And no one can say that they were going to win on that last play.
That's true.
But still, they didn't have the chance to do so.
Exactly. Everything was going fine in that first half until Herm had his first big decision to make.
4th and 1.
4th and 1. What do you think about that decision? Was that the right decision to make, or was it just? I mean, do you look at Herm and go, what on earth are you thinking? You got to take those points, or do you look at his explanation for that as a good explanation?
I fully believe that Herm Edwards fully believes in himself.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to doubt him if he believed in the call. If he said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that, okay, then that's when I can creep in and say something. But he 100% was on board with it, and he said he'd do it again.
He sure did.
Then I have to side with him on it. Even though I don't think it was the best thing, I think you go for points. I mean, this obviously isn't the NFL, but you should go for points when a team that plays you tough traditionally is up against you right now, and I would have taken the points first.
I don't really agree with his explanation. He said that he was trying to go ahead and step on their throat because he had the momentum and he was going to go ahead and finish it.
Yeah.
You had the momentum anyway. 3 points would still keep you some momentum, but you just handed that whole big monster of momentum over to the other team.
Yeah.
So take the points.
I get it. I like the play call. We don't have all the personnel to do that.
Right.
We don't have every weapon. We have a couple weapons, but we're not loaded with weapons where it's like, yeah, we're going to step on your throat because you don't know who we're going to.
But momentum can be a really, 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 really tricky thing.
Yeah.
If you have it, it can just ride you along, just like the 21 unanswered that San Diego State scored.
Right.
We could have still rode our momentum we had because Mary had the deep ball going in that first half.
And here's the problem on top of this. The offensive coordinator didn't feel comfortable enough to run that ball on 4th and 1.
That's sad.
And so that's another problem because you wanted to step on their throats, but you didn't look in the mirror and say, we're one-dimensional right now. We can't step on their throat because they know it's going to be a pass.
That's a good point. Wow. So Herm has got his first loss. He's got his first controversy and all this stuff, and everybody questioning him and we're already coming out of the woodwork saying all kinds of stuff. And it's like, come on, you didn't expect him to win every game.
No,
come on now.
This wasn't going to be a 10-win team right away. And I think the win over Michigan State was a great look on the outcome of how Herm Edwards is going to transform this program.
Exactly.
I expect this team to hopefully get a good bowl game, to hopefully get 7 to 9 wins, something like that. But they weren't going to be going 10 plus.
Exactly. One other quick thing: Manny needs to control his emotions a little bit better. Because he was caught on camera criticizing his coach when he made that decision. Did you catch that? That was so dumb, dog. It was clearly when he said it. But anyway, We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here. When we get back, we're going to let you in on a prophecy that happened 22 years ago that came true today in that Cardinal game. Hang around, Bird Gang.
Seattle scored in garbage time, so the score was bad.
Okay, I'm going to play first the same old sayings, and then I'm going to go into the other one. This is what we're going to do. Oh, crew, I forgot. Also, are you there? Okay, do you still have the old highlight music that we used to have when I used to do the highlights? Correct. Yeah, I need that to play when we do the highlights. Thanks. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to do is just go first quarter. I'm going to do a little, we're going to both just talk about the first quarter. We're going to talk about the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter.
So I only did notes for 3 and 4.
Yeah. So you got notes for 3 and 4, and I'll just kind of do 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then we'll just go from there. Because of course, you know, like you said, it ain't that many.
I even wrote it down like Rams. This is all Rams. It's only A if we made a mistake, really.
Right.
I got a tweet from Bill Simmons that's beautiful.
Bill Simmons? Really?
Sam Bradford, 11 for 20 for 64 yards and an interception, 34, 47, and 1 as a starter. Never won 8 games in the season. He turns 31 in November, and he keeps starting NFL games. I don't get it.
Wow.
And he's true.
That's the facts. Those are the facts. And we keep trying to make that excuse that he looks good when he's healthy or when he's this and when he's that, but
he doesn't. 8 games?
Wow.
Did no one look at that when they signed him?
I don't know, man.
I would have taken Teddy Bridgewater.
Huh?
I would have taken Teddy Bridgewater. I would rather
No, remember we were talking about he would fit that system a little bit better?
Yes.
He can run around and do some things. And who's out there now?
Colin Kaepernick.
Hey!
That's it.
But then he ain't nowhere near ready to play no game
he's
right
nowhere
now.
near accurate either.
Exactly. It's got to be worse than what we see in Bradford right now.
Yeah. And the Cardinals aren't the team to give him a chance, let's just be honest.
Of course not.
They're not the type to make political statements.
Exactly.
They kind of just ride the
They
line.
just ride the line of mediocrity and just hope that somebody catch fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that, man. As soon as Josh Gordon hit the dang waiver, I said, I already know we're not going to get him.
The Patriots special.
picked him up. That's his Patriots special, exactly.
Meanwhile, Seahawks got the guys who got insider trading.
Inside trading. All right, let's do this. Welcome back into the Casual House Bird Gang. As the Bird Gang, we all want to give a thanks to the Bears for whooping up on the Seahawks tonight. So props to the Bears and helping us out to not be the only 0-2 team in that division.
Pete Carroll.
Take that, Pete.
Go find another piece of gum to chew on.
Well, a massacre went down in L.A., and we have to talk about it, and we have to find some way to look at the highlights of this game, which is going to be kind of tough. So let's go ahead and roll those highlights.
You ready for this?
He said no. All right, Bird Gang. This game was, it started out in the first quarter. It was a pretty good start for the Cardinals defense. It looked like we were going to come in there and stand firm a little and kind of fight in this game.
Yeah.
Did we catch them on, we stopped them on 2 drives, right?
First 2 drives.
First 2 drives of the game. We even stuffed Gurley.
A lot. He didn't even do well for the game.
Exactly. So the first quarter, and we kept them scoreless in the first quarter. So we're looking at, like, when I saw 0-0, I'm like, okay, let's go. We have a game.
There's some chances, but we got a game.
And then the second quarter went
immediately started.
Exactly. They were already on the drive at the end of the first.
Yep.
Going into the second quarter, they get their first score, of course, with Gurley. But the defense stayed on the field way too long. And the offense just was 4 plays or 3 plays out and a punt. 3 plays out and a punt all second quarter. And the Rams just kind of adjusted during the game. Okay, we're not getting Gurley going. Okay, watch this. He's not running okay. They start using him in that passing game and just opened up everything else and rolled from there.
Yep.
So they toyed with us also at the end of that second quarter. Was really like messed up. They just knew they were going to beat us.
Yeah.
It was 3 seconds left before halftime. They could have kicked the field goal and went out of there. They're like, no. We got to play. We're going to run that thing. And they ran it the last, no time on the clock, scored it. Two 2-point conversions on us on a field goal. I mean,
they had no kicker. And they beat us.
So they rolled.
They beat us worse.
They rolled in that second quarter right past us, and the heart just got ripped out when they went for that goal line with 3 seconds left.
I got you on this one. They pulled the heart out, but it wasn't even beating when they pulled it out. So
go here with the third quarter, bro.
Third quarter, we had another huge pass to Cooks. It was the longest of the game. Jamar Taylor got beat. He was getting beat like a drum all game long.
Wow. Yeah.
Peterson ends up with a great pick, bailing out that drive. But then they're celebrating the pick.
Right.
Down 19-0. That's something that we're going to have to talk about a lot more later.
Yeah.
We've got Larry, who makes a great diving catch. Probably hurt his hamstring on that catch.
Right.
Didn't play in the rest of the game. That was Bradford throwing from the end zone on 3rd and 5. So that was a good play. One good play.
Right.
We had 3rd
Still
and 6.
under 10 yards, though.
Yeah, of course. 3rd and 6, terrible throw to Seals, 5 yards behind the line, and is up for some fourth down.
Man.
Gurley punches it in again to a soft defense. He got another 2-point conversion. Taylor gets beat again by Cup on 3rd down. And it looks like we're playing prevent zone when we're down by 27 points.
Right.
What is the mindset on that? Why aren't you sending 7 people down?
I have no idea.
The least thing that can happen.
No adjustments at all, in-game adjustments.
You're going to lose anyway. You might as well just give up the touchdown.
What happened in the fourth?
Fourth quarter, we got Everett wide open on 2nd and 20. 2nd and 20, wide open.
Wow.
I can only assume that Jamar Taylor was there, but I wasn't looking at it. 4th and 1.
He had a rough afternoon, man.
Yeah, we ended up forcing a 4th and 1. Goff goes to try to do a quarterback sneak. They get stuffed. They have no kicker, so they went for it, obviously.
Wow, of course.
3rd and 4, big 15-yard conversion to Cooks again.
Mm-hmm.
Then Bradford gets picked up by Shields in the next drive. We got Cup, who converts a 3rd and 9. These are all 3rd and long situations that they're converting.
All of them, yeah.
Wide open Higbee touchdown. David Johnson gets a nice 10-yard run. That was his biggest run of the game. And then you get 4th and 3, caught by Edmonds. Nice little catch. And lastly, that catch brought us to the 50-yard line for the first time in the entire game.
The entire game. Can you believe that?
It's like trying to drive to work with no gas. I mean, what are you going to do? You push the car the whole way there and you finally get past the 50? Did you not clock out at work yet? You're not getting there.
I love that. That's good. And those are your highlights from a casual point of view. I love it.
Casually get slightly sarcastic.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny, dude. You're crazy.
Thank you.
All right, but I want to going back. You know, after a game like that, it's hard to go ahead and hear all the cliches that come afterwards.
Of course.
And
we're going to evaluate
it's
everything.
the same old. And this is, I put together a real sound clip for all the same old. Bird game don't want to hear it, but take a listen to this and listen to the first words of each one of these guys. Hit that crew. This next one's about to be freaking hilarious. Man, you keep hearing that same old. One thing that stood out to me is Coach Wills keeps saying, we have to figure out ways. we have to figure out ways. We have to figure out ways. If you haven't figured out ways coming into week 2, from training camp to practices to up until this point, and you don't even have a way yet figured out, something's wrong coaching-wise.
I will give them 2 kudos. 2 kudos, okay? One is Andy Lee.
Right.
Again. And the other one is they stopped the run, relatively speaking.
Right.
Which was an adjustment from week 1. That's all I'm going to give them.
But we had a prophet 22 years ago that told us about this game today. And this is what the Bird gang really wanted to hear. Go ahead and play that, crew.
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass beat. We couldn't do diddly proof offense. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We had
Oh.
run. Every time we got the ball that went down and got points, we got our ass totally kicked. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coach did a horrible job. The player did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked. It sucked. It stunk.
Oh, no, we suck again. In my opinion, that sucked.
That was on point, man. He said everything exactly what happened in that
It was the same game.
We couldn't run the ball. We didn't even try to run the ball. He said every last thing that happened in that game.
Waterboy.
That is funny, but that was on point, man. Jim Moore back 22 years ago. It was funny. He started out. How did he know that it was the second game? This second game. That was funny.
That hurts.
Oh, wow. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube with the same tab, Kazual Sportz, Kazual with the Z at the end of sports. We're going to be right back, Bird Gang. You don't want to miss what's coming up next. Stick around.
You.
Oh, we squeezed that in there just in time.
In my opinion, that
That
sucks.
sucks.
I had a couple more that I was going to send you. Like
I want to put a whole
You
lot
can't
of it.
win.
You can't. Oh,
That's a good one, right?
that would have been awesome.
There was, I had like 4.
You gotta
pulled up.
start sending me that stuff because I will put it to. I will
Did you
put
want YouTube clips? I'll tell you the
anything. That's
time
where I
and
got
size.
them all from.
You can't win.
You can't. I did the I looked at the Rambo one too. That was funny too.
Yeah, that was good.
Nothing's ever over.
Nothing is over.
Nothing's over. Ever.
Yeah.
Did he say sack 12 times?
What's up, Michelangelo? Who?
Did he just say that Russell got sacked 12
Let
times?
me look it up.
Nah, I heard that wrong. That's got to be wrong.
I want the game stats. Alright, team stats. Sacks. Oh, 2 sacks for 15 yards.
Oh, I was going to say.
And then
12.
Seattle got sacked 6 for 12.
Oh, 6, but 20-something yard. Okay, I was going to say.
Benton Mayo balled out, though. I was one of the few guys who played hard for the Cardinals.
What happened?
Benton Mayo
He did what?
had 2 sacks.
Oh, okay.
Kimbichi did okay, finally. Look at that. When Kimbichi shows up, the run stops. Imagine that. What we drafted you for.
When he shows up, huh?
You have to evaluate everything. Yes.
Hey, crew. When we come back with great, just come back with that plan again. Yeah.
He loves it too much.
Oh, man, it's just perfect. It said everything exactly. In that game number 2, we just got our ass.
I gotta see if I can get that on the overhead speakers.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. Control room.
They attract the buyers. With a full-service approach, they make real estate investing easy by providing all the
what you just
services you
do?
need to achieve your
So when we
goals.
play the audio,
The perfect
you can hear
property,
it on
selling
Oh,
your
okay.
property quickly. safely and
Okay, I can
efficiently.
hear it. I'm like,
Let me talk, I'll turn it back down.
With a
Okay,
full-service
that's good.
property management company, even helping with property repairs, rehabs, and remodels. Don't want
Now
to
our
buy and
ads are
hold?
on
Then let them help
Facebook
you
Live.
buy low, rehab, and sell high with a hands-off, no-stress property flipping program where we do all the work.
I was just saying, now our
Understand
ads are
how
on
we
here.
simplify the real estate investment world and help you make the most of your investment dollars. Give us the AZ property experts at Trust Realty a call today. Kirsten Schaefer and her team are ready to take your call at 480-788-2761.
So are we, Michelangelo. So are we.
What is it?
Still reeling from that loss.
Or visit
I
us
know,
on the web at
it's not an easy loss to take.
azpropertyexperts.com.
I just
Just
saved
how you
hundreds of
lose
dollars by
has a lot
switching
to
to
do with,
Geico.
you know,
I
losing
should
is
have
not
done
that,
this
you know,
years ago.
you can deal with losing. How you lose, man.
So I wrote down, that's the first thought I had.
25 years back in time, switch your car insurance to
Nope.
Geico. You could save a bunch of money.
They had cardiac hearts. Back then they had hearts. That's why they were cardiac hearts.
And we
And at long last rectify this horrible
didn't have as
problem.
much talent as other
Geico
teams. They
will
played
provide
hard.
if you destroyed the fabric of time and space.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Reinvent your home. Open your eyes to new possibilities and your mind to smarter ways of doing things. You'll find them at the Home Depot, where the next
I got
generation
a bunch of
of home
stats too.
improvement
Team
makes its home.
stats, player
New
stats.
products, new
This is
tools,
the second
new
weekend in a row
technology
they
to
just
home
stopped
improvement
running
into
David.
the 21st century. About the
Yeah,
only
It's
thing
not like
we
he was
haven't
doing that
reinvented
bad. He had
48
13
yards.
carries for 48 yards, 3.7 yards per carry, which is
Get this, did you realize that Buchanan's not even calling the plays anymore? Signs is.
really.
I used to
And
post
Reddick only had
job boards
3
only
snaps.
to be overwhelmed
That's
with
bad,
resumes.
man. So that's telling me we don't have any linebackers. So why don't they just go ahead and move Dayon back to safety, get Boston out of here, because he's a liability right now.
Put Boston where Taylor is.
Exactly.
He
Yeah,
has some speed.
exactly. And get Dayon back in his original position.
And the problem is he's heavier now.
Yeah, true. That's true.
So unless you're gonna blitz him.
Yeah, use him to call him safety blitz or.
I don't know that Dansby's got anything left, man. Maybe.
Oh yeah, call up the Dirty Bird.
Maybe.
Who said that point?
Michelangelo.
Like, man, that's a good point.
Maybe.
Mike. Call up the Dirty freaking Bird. I just saw him on
At least he
Facebook a
can
while
call
ago
them-
doing some party. He was
At least
at.
he can call the plays.
Exactly.
Let's call the plays in the defense.
Yeah, who else is out there though as far as linebackers?
It's Bynes and Buchanan. We're still running 2
I'm
linebackers.
talking about out there to go get free agent wise. Nothing that's gonna help you, right?
Daryl Washington.
Versus the Thunderbirds this Saturday. NAU faces off against
No.
5 years ago that would work.
Yeah. No, we'll pass on
here
that.
on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060.
We now return to the Kazual Sportz Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060 with your host, Casual Lee.
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked. We just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. We couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball, they went down and got points. We got our ass totally kicked. It was a horse performance. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked. It sucked. It stunk.
Oh no! We suck again!
That is just perfect, man. I mean, I don't like, it's not funny how, our team is down right now, but that was just like a perfect analogy of the game.
If you don't laugh, you cry.
Exactly. You
drink
got to
heavily.
make
We
yourself
don't need to
laugh
drink
somehow.
heavily.
You got to make yourself laugh somehow. Well, let's jump into this game, man. I know we did the highlights, and so we're going to break down this stuff, man, and see what we think, what the problem may be here.
Play
Of
calling.
course, you know that's where everybody's
Defense?
headed. Everybody's headed toward play calling. I was on the Focus with Jay earlier, and Jeremy was telling us, him being a player, of course, that you be in some of those meeting rooms like
really, why are we doing this
what is
again?
this? What are we trying to do here?
Right.
And I'm thinking that's where we are right now. There's some players out there that have no clue what's going on that field. And they're trying to figure it out as they go. You can tell they're thinking
On
too
both
much
sides.
on both sides of the ball, and they are like 2 or 3 steps behind.
Or if you're Jamar Taylor, 10.
I knew you were going to say that. So, but confidence in the game plan. If you're not confident in what the coaches are doing, you got a big problem.
Yeah. And not even just the game plan. As far as 2 games goes, the defense now has 0 confidence in the offense.
Right.
So now you either have that Cardinals defense from a couple years ago that were used to that and played regardless of how they were playing, or you're going to have a team that looks like we have now, where they're just going to give up some plays and just play like that.
Right.
So you can't even have confidence in just your offense's ability to play, let alone the scheme.
Right.
Which is just as dangerous, if not more.
But what gives players the confidence? Players get the confidence when they see what we're working on in training camp and practices has translated to the field.
Right.
And it starts to actually work. Nothing has worked.
And nothing has translated.
And nothing has translated from what you're learning in those rooms and what you're learning in that practice and what you learned in that training camp, which looked all good to everybody.
Yeah.
It's not translating to the field. And now it's like, now everybody's questioning everything. So is this just another one of those one of those things where, okay, the coaching staff, starting with Wilkes, still has a learning curve, and he's still learning as he's going.
It could be. I mean, he's going to have to learn how to manage his coordinators as
Right,
well. Because
exactly. That's what Jeremy was saying earlier.
His job depends on their productivity.
Exactly.
And honestly, I'd like to propose the question you guys are talking about Rosen, whether or not he'd make a difference and whether or not he should go in. And I had a lot of things to say. I didn't want to say it and jump in and steal your mic or anything.
Well, go ahead, sir.
You think that he's going to make a difference, Rosen being in the offense? I'm wondering more so, does the offense change because Rosen's now in? Because like we said last week, we are playing an offense that is catered around to making sure Bradford doesn't get hurt.
Correct.
So would we take the training wheels off and let Rosen let it fly a couple times? Would we see a pass past 30 yards?
If I'm Coach Wilkes, I take the training wheels off Bradford and tell him personally, I'm sorry, man. Hey, look, this is football.
Yeah.
This ain't babysitting.
No.
Hey, you play football. The chance of you getting hurt is going to be there.
Yeah.
We're going to let it rip. We're going to do our offense now. And if you can't do a 5-step drop, something's wrong.
If we're paying you to get hurt or not get hurt.
Or not
so throw
get
the ball.
hurt. Exactly. So look, man, I know the 3 steps and quick getting it out is saving that knee a little bit. But we need to get the ball downfield. So we need a couple of 5 steps to get this ball downfield, man. You got to start taking them.
Because now if he's still playing and not getting hurt, but he's missing passes over 30 yards, then you can actually justify saying, okay, we need to change a quarterback because he's not accurate right now.
Exactly. And I already alluded to this last time on our show and just now on Jay's show about Bradford. From what I see watching tape, that's a man that's not confident.
No.
He's not confident in his. I'm not saying in his ability. He knows every coverage. There's nothing they're going to roll at Bradford that he has not seen.
Right.
He is the most accurate quarterback that we know in this league. How all of a sudden he's just going to not be accurate?
And I feel like he's not even confident in his receivers. Why isn't Kirk getting targeted more? Well, I can see why Chad Williams might not get targeted as much, but Kirk should definitely be getting a little bit more passes.
But that still starts with him.
Right.
Because if he's not confident in himself, then nothing else is going to work.
And you can't have just one safety net.
Exactly. And his safety net is his eyes, where he can look down at the rush and kind of step to the side and move around. And then when he finally gets to open the man, when he sees the open man, the last second, he's letting it go. And it's sailing over receivers' heads.
Yep.
And it's really bad. It's really bad. And so this little dink and dunk offense is not looking like we thought it was going to look.
No.
It's supposed to have fast guys in the slot, get it to him, let him get open and run. But now Bradford is snap the ball, look down his leg, and then throw it.
And this isn't a hard offense to run. It shouldn't be a hard offense to run.
Right.
The Patriots have been doing it their entire legacy.
True. That's true. It's not hard at all. So.
And you got Larry on the outside way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, put him in the middle then.
Oh, let's go there. The outside. What else is out there? If Larry comes in the slot sometimes where they need him because nobody else is doing anything, they move him in the slot and they get him those short 5, 6 in the inside. Everybody's telling me or saying on the radio that David Johnson's our next best receiver. I'm so tired of hearing that because he should not have to be your next best receiver because we need outside weapons to make David Johnson in our passing game lethal.
And you decided to keep J.J. Nelson, so then run the game plan.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? David Johnson is our element of surprise in the passing game.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be our element of surprise.
Yeah.
If it's too obvious and they just roll coverage over to him like a regular receiver, he's going to be neutralized in that aspect too.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, stop. He's our best receiver, yet other teams have already taken him out of the game.
And they might have a bigger corner on him now, so now you have a size mismatch.
Right. And so this just goes to this organization has never gotten really truly aggressive in free agency. 2 receivers that can handle that outside hit the market, and we don't make one move to go get either one of them. Yeah. That just really bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's one thing to just be, okay, I'm looking at our what's on the field is not working.
Yeah.
And for you to sit and do nothing about it, that's I don't know, man. That just
what can really get frustrating at times too is we always have this whole Cardinal DNA of what a player should be and what type of person that player should be, and I get that, and there's certain ramifications of that.
Right.
At the same time, our DNA now is turning into mediocrity.
Exactly.
And so if you're not willing to roll the dice on a player or two, like you did with Tyrann Mathieu,
exactly, then
you have to
do a Belichick.
You have to go for it.
You have to do a Belichick and say, look, I'm gonna bring this guy in, and I'm gonna get this guy in this system. He's gonna do it this way, and if he don't, no sweat, cut, gone.
Right.
Des Bryant is sitting out there right now. Why are we not banging on his door? We're the only, I can't say the only team, but we're probably the second worst team in the league now.
Us and the Bills, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, what do you have to lose?
And the poor Bills, they can't even party at their own funerals anymore. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
And then check this out. Let's go into Coach Wilkes.
Yeah.
We were talking about that a little bit on Jay's show. Coach Wilkes, I love how Jeremy said it. He has to start, like you said, talking to them coaches, getting on them coaches, and taking over the reins a little bit, and interrupting in a game and saying, why aren't we making adjustments? Change something, do something.
Break a clipboard. I don't care what you have to do.
Because I don't see the mix of Mike McCoy working with Wilkes. The mix is just not working somehow. What has Mike McCoy done in this league other than getting a few good quarterbacks that everybody keeps saying that he's worked with? Okay, but does that translate to winning with those quarterbacks on a consistent basis? 9-7, 9-7, 4-12, 5-11. Those are the San Diego years. And then in Denver, of course, they let him go in the mid-season.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he's doing that same offense. And it's the same inept offense they let him go for in Denver. Here we are again.
That Tebow year too. That was a 9-17.
But yeah, see, that's just exactly the 9-17 that won a playoff game with Tebow. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get that. But
that was
still,
a dink and dunk offense.
Still, this is a new league from that point up until today.
Yeah.
There's some new things in that offense. You have to tweak some things and kind of do some new things with what you have on your roster. You have a potential 1,000 and 1,000 running back. Why are we not using this dude?
Not anymore.
Exactly. No, yeah, you can scrap that. That's done.
That gone.
Yeah. Why are we not using David more? It seems like they get away from him and they don't want to use him out because the game is out of hand. They don't want to use him up and they pull him. Wilkes has to take control of this.
Yeah.
It has to be from him and nobody else.
It feels like it's generating just from, I don't know if it's management or if it's whoever's paying Bradford's contract saying, I don't want to break this $15 million toy. And so they're playing safe with it, and they're not actually enjoying playing with the toy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they got that one kid that, well, I got this new bike, but I don't want to go and do any tricks on it or anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You paid $15 million for it, you might as well use it.
Might as well go ahead and burn it out. And if it gets broken.
That's what Rosen's for.
Hey, when I was a kid and I got new toys and I went outside, Mom was like, hey, if you let kids break your stuff, that's what happens when you go outside and play with kids.
Maybe we'll take the training wheels off because the kids that would break the stuff were the Rams, and at least we're done with them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to keep going on with this. Of course, we got a lot of things on Can't Get Right that's going to come up in the next segment.
A
couple of things. Yeah, let me just say a couple of things. But we have to figure out a way. It's what they always say in the cliches. We have to figure out a way.
Ways to win.
Ways to figure it out. And
ways
we
to
haven't
score.
done it by now. I'm wondering. Hassan Reddick, linebackers.
Get in the dirt. Just like JB was saying. Get your hands in the dirt.
We got to start putting these people in the positions that they excel in. And Hassan was not excelling in that position they have him in right now. Three freaking plays. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show. I guess we got a lot of our venting out. NBC Sports Radio AM 1060. Sean, you all right over there?
I'll be all right.
All right. Bird Gang, stick around. We'll be right back.
I got non-Cardinal related. I'll go Vontae Davis.
Good.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's wardrobe. You see this?
A scramble drill.
3, 2, 5.
Ah, that's funny. He said the chest hair is mine.
Showed up at the press conference in Deshaun Jackson's flashy outfit.
Hey, crew. I think there's a rejoin there from Patrick Peterson. Come back with that. All right, thanks.
I was going to say Vontae. And then I can say... what do you got?
Oh, you can have Vontae. I don't even know what to say about that, man. Of course, the D-backs.
That's fine.
It was actually Devontae Davis mostly, but it was something else in the Cardinal game that I can't remember who it was. Oh, Hassan Reddick, who was on the field for like what?
3 plays.
3 plays.
It's legitimately 3 plays.
But is it really his fault? So no, we're gonna change Hassan Reddick to coaching staff.
That's fine.
Coaching staff.
You can go down Buchanan because he's not.
Oh yeah, huh?
He's a shell.
He is just a shell of himself, huh?
Do you want me
Yeah,
to,
let's go Dayon instead of coaching.
after the Peterson, you want me to go with that Simmons tweet, or do you want to talk stats a little bit, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, after you mean the rejoin when we come back, yeah, go ahead with the tweet.
Okay. Let's get sponsored by nobody.
Yeah. Then you can actually go from there and get us into Can't Get Right.
That's fine. Maybe I put that in Can't Get Right.
What?
Maybe I could put that in Can't Get Right.
Oh.
Maybe not. Since it's too obvious.
Right.
Michelangelo, at least Cobb won 4 games. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with coaching staff. Can't get these guys to buy in.
I'm fine with that. Just gonna need to go make them jog out into a military morgue, like in Remember the Titans. He's gonna have to make them bond. Because he's Coach Denzel. He's gonna have to make them go run in a mossy field in the cemetery in the middle of the morning. And it makes sense because McCoy is just like the other coach.
I can never playing that now. Where else?
Man, it's the place to live, I'm telling you. Everything. I could get my dad to the airport this morning in a half hour there and back. Can't beat that.
Kazual Sportz Show sent you. US Realty University, preparing today's students for tomorrow's real estate careers.
I used to have to do those at school all the time.
They just give you like random ones?
Yeah, they just throw you a subject, you have to write something like a, it's crazy. All right.
Welcome back into the Casual House. Sean McConnell, Earl Burnett here. careful. I almost pulled a Earl. Man, okay, so I got to get out there. You just heard that, huh? I got to get out this Bill Simmons tweet real quick before we get into Can't Get Right, since we're not going to put Sam on the list just because. But he says, Sam Bradford, 11 for 20 for 64 yards this year and a pick. He's 34, 47, and 1 lifetime as a starter. He's never won 8 games in a season. He turns 31 in November. He keeps starting NFL games. I just don't get it.
Man.
Bill, neither do we.
Like I said before, it takes a whole season sometime to come back from that ACL injury, and he is in the midst of that right now.
Yeah, he's ready to take longer than that.
Yeah, and then next year he's not going to be here, so he's going to be somewhere else to get over it.
That is absolutely true. Absolutely. Well, let's get into the Can't Get Right. Man, I gotta say, number one on this list, on everybody's list right now nationally, has got to be Vontae Davis retiring at halftime against the Chargers, saying in a statement later that reality had hit him. I shouldn't be out there anymore. You shouldn't have signed up for another year.
During a game, though, you gonna quit during the game.
It's not even like his bell got rocked and he got pulled for a concussion. It's halftime. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to do this anymore. No.
Before that, you can see him on tape celebrating with his teammates, getting a sack or a tackle or something like that. And then he goes into halftime and quits.
Just like that.
That is incredible. I've never, ever seen anything like that in my life.
There's a huge statement on NFL's Twitter by him about retiring, and I'm not going to go into it because he didn't give
no explanation for that, man.
No, he didn't give his team a full game. I'm not going to give him a full airtime on reading that.
Nah, that's kind of reminds me of what's that? Leonard and Duran. No mas. No mas. Is that the right name? Duran, was that the name?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know boxing, man?
No.
Yeah, but no mas. When he quit and just turned around and walked away from the fight. That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is.
That's right.
Who else we got? Oh, let me go one here.
Get one.
Of course, we got to put in the Cardinals coaching staff.
Oh.
They just can't get the game plan right. Yeah, we know players got to play it on the field, but adjustments have to be made during a game at some point, don't you think? And I don't mean the adjustment of stop running David Johnson.
No, that's a bad adjustment.
That's I don't see how that's beneficial at all.
Saying, hey, here's an adjustment. We stopped the run. Now let's stop the pass. There's an adjustment. Are you kidding? Like, okay, hey, we can't run. Let's do something different.
Oh, man, it's just something about Arizona sports, man. I'm telling you, it's like they got that one ingredient they're just missing all the time. And I think it's like...
Success.
I think we got that. I don't know. We'll get into that some other time. What you got? Anything else?
I got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh.
Probably the best pro quarterback out of Arizona. But he's definitely making poor outfit choices by wearing Deshaun Jackson's flashy outfit.
I thought that was kind of cool, though.
No. You've won 2 games, and now you're wearing gold chains, and you've got your hamburger meat hanging out. It's not just hanging out. I mean, it's straight out of the freezer, thawing. It's nasty. The beard's there. He's got the aviators on. This is just not a good look. Fitzpatrick, just take it cool, man, because in 2 weeks, it's not going to look so good when you're losing games.
You think that's coming, huh?
I hate to say it, but that's the pattern.
Exactly. Okay. We know the D-backs are always on this list, so we're just going to go past them. D-backs is one, but we're not going to even speak on that because the fork was already put in them last week. Dayon Buchanan.
The cannon.
A shell of himself, man. What is really going on? I think playing either with no confidence, just like Bradford, because he's coming off an injury, or he's playing out of position.
Or even that he's got too much on his plate. They pulled now him calling plays. Now Josh Bynes calling plays. And those are the 2 linebackers that they're playing now. It's 2 linebackers.
That's got to be a sign that they're not confident in what you're doing on the field if they pull the play calling from you.
I don't think his play calling has anything to do with Jamar Taylor's coverage.
Maybe he should have been on the list, huh?
Oh, he definitely should have been on the list, but he's in a different list. He's in the list that makes me curse.
Oh, man, yeah, you don't want to start that list.
No.
But, yeah, remember, Dayon was looked at when he got drafted by the Cardinals in BA, man, he was on tape as a safety.
Yeah.
And they took him and moved him to the linebacker position, and now he's been trying to learn it ever since. And finally got it going, then he gets hurt. So it's a lot going on in the head up there. So neither one of those guys, Hassan Reddick and Dayon Buchanan, are Wilkes guys.
Yeah.
Look for them next year, maybe not to be on this train.
Buchanan's in a contract year, too. It's not going to look good.
Exactly.
Honestly, they're playing out of position, and Wilkes got to realize that.
And the defense should be easier to play when you're trying to learn things.
You think?
They look really scrambled on that defense. It's like some are playing something else, and man,
no one's talking. You know,
nobody's talking.
He doesn't have the speed anymore, but I miss Rashad Johnson so much because he had everybody where they needed to be.
And the Dirty Bird.
Absolutely.
We missed Dirty Bird too. So
he always finds a way to get his hands on the ball.
Exactly. And those are the people that just can't get right.
Can't, won't, will not.
Ain't no maybe. Oh, man.
It was Roberto Duran, by the way, Michael.
Oh, it was Duran.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
No mas. Turned around. Leonard just smacked him in the back of the head.
Cardinals said no mas after the first Peterson run last
week. Man.
No mas.
There's another guy we got to give a little bit of, I won't say criticism, but we got to kind of talk about, and Jeremy Bridges alluded to it a little earlier. I think it went over everybody's head a little bit when he was on Jay's show talking about it. Where the hell is Chandler Jones?
He had a deflection. I texted you. We were just talking about, like, where is he? And then he just had one deflection.
He had the deflection, but where is he on the pass rush?
Was he getting doubled?
No. For the last 2 weeks, he has been single covered. I mean, he had a pretty tough assignment last week.
It's a very tough assignment.
And
this one wasn't
Williams
easy
from the Redskins. Yep. That dude was pretty tough.
This one wasn't tough. This one was tough.
I love what Jeremy said. Switch it up, man. Because he's coming with that same rush that everybody's, like he said, already used to. We know what you're doing. I don't want to put the tag of overrated on him yet, but if he doesn't start doing something and producing in his defense,
it might not be overrated. It might be overpaid.
Oh, okay.
If that's because I still think he's got ability. I think he's a great player.
Right.
But that contract comes with you need to get X, Y, Z sacks.
Right.
You need to get 10 sacks. You need to do this. So, Chandler, we are your biggest fans and biggest critics at the same time because we expect so much.
Here's another sign. Here's another sign that we're playing with no heart. Another sign. We're down what?
A lot.
27-0, 34-0 at the time, and we make one good play and we're celebrating.
That interception.
Something doesn't go right with that. Why are you celebrating and running around talking crap or running around saying what you want to say to the other team because you finally made a play? Dude, bring that same intensity at the beginning of the game. Then you got an argument.
It was a great interception. You can be happy for a second, and then you realize that you're losing and you're getting your butt handed to you.
No, at that point, you get the interception, hand the ball to the ref, and go to the sideline.
I agree with you. It was a great catch. I can see why you're excited because you made a great catch.
Right.
But then you don't go and you don't just do it.
And even when Chandler got the tip, hands going up like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. You can get hyped up, and that's cool, but
that's how this team's going to unravel by worrying about their own stats.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. It's like it's individually.
It's all about your stats.
It's about self, man.
Yep.
And there's no cohesive unit being put together on either side of the ball, and everybody's playing for themselves. Bradford's trying to play to keep his knee healthy. I mean, it's crazy. It's like everybody's got a different agenda.
It really is.
And we got to get this thing fixed. I know that's the cliche saying, but we got to get it fixed, or otherwise it's going to be a long season. And we didn't even get into Rosen getting in the game. You did touch on it a little bit, though.
A little bit.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll see how it happens. But this has been the Kazual Sportz Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. And you know what we do every week. Go ahead and follow us on social media. Kazual Sportz, Kazual with the Z at the end of sports. We'll catch you next week. We gone. Ooh, I almost missed it.
That's what I was looking at.
Are we going to do it? I almost missed it.
See you, Facebook.
I'll see you, Facebook. Thanks, crew. Great job. Did she already leave?